Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Well, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel, because I've moved from 2 subscribers to 122, I think. So thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. This is crazy. I don't want to lie. I didn't think this was ever going to happen. I was so nervous last week. I was so scared to do this, but it felt great. It felt like flying. Today I'm not really nervous as I was last week. I'm just in I think because of the topic, I'm in a weird mental state because I have to kind of like, you know, when you're trying to heal and deal from things and then you have to kind of like bring them back and channel them so that you can explain to the next person why you did what you did, you know. So it kind of like brought me back to a lot of things that I did not want to, even though you think about them all the time, but you just try to like deal with them as much as you can. So yeah, so after this I'm going to be doing a lot of self-care because I'm gonna need it. Anyway, let me go into it. Today's topic is about why my family and I relocated to Australia, the reason why we left South Africa, where it is our home country. We left our friends, we left our family, we left everything that was us. Hey, we left everything, bruh. Finally, like, you know when you've wanted something so bad and you eventually get it and you come this side and you think that it is greener on the other side. I don't want to lie, it is greener. I don't want to lie, but it has taken so much from us that even if it is greener, you still don't feel 100% like it is green because of what you have left behind. As I've explained, like my family, a lot of things that we needed to like sacrifice for us to be here. And because of everything that is happening in South Africa, I still carry the trauma and everything that I experienced because my family is still experiencing it. And it is so difficult for me being unable to help them because I'm just promised, you know. And as much as I would like to help them and want to help them, there's so much you can do and there's some things that you can't do. So it is what it is. So this episode is really, I don't know. It's just it's an emotional episode for me because I'm kind of having to like drag myself to a place that I really don't want to be. But let's just do it. So this episode is going to be about me explaining to you guys where this whole thing started. Where, when, how, and why. First day that my husband and I had this conversation. We actually had this conversation a lot. Where we, you know, like when you're like dating someone for so long. My husband and I have been together for like 9 years. And within that 9 years, obviously, you discuss a lot of things that sometimes you even forget along the way. But there had been conversations about, would you ever leave? Where would we go? You know? So because we never really had a solid reason to leave and we didn't know where we were going to go and why we should go there, we knew we needed to leave. That is number one. We knew we needed to go. But because we did not know where to go and there was a need, but then we just did not have like the drive behind it. So this is what drove us to this. In 2016, I was pregnant with my little child, my daughter Kulo. And I was doing my master's at the time at Wits. My husband got shot. He got shot. It was an attempted hijacking. He was driving a Ford, what do they call them? Ford Ranger XLT or something like that. So in South Africa, they've got this thing where apparently it's called inamba. So what this means is that when the Mtsotsis people, the crooks and the hijackers have an order where it's like, we need a car like this. They call it inamba. We're like, hey boys, you need to go get this car. It is needed. So apparently, because the car has a very good engine, allegedly they use the engine for taxis or something like that. I don't know. I wish I knew. I don't know. Sometimes though they would steal the vans and the cars and whatever that they steal to take them to your Mozambique and all of that. Because if you've been in South Africa, you will know how rough it is. Anything is possible. Anything illegal, anything wrong, anything is possible in Africa. So yes, that was the situation. A number had come out, and I guess then the number was on us. These guys were trying to hijack my husband. I was with him at the time, but I was not there like with him. His cousin was in the car at the time. He was sleeping though. And then they went up to him, and I don't know what they said to him, because they shot him. How he explained it to me, said they came behind, and when he turned to go look what's going on, because he felt something like on his back, when he turned, they pulled the trigger. So then I think then it attracted people's attention, so they ran away. So he comes to me bleeding, and he's holding like his belly, and he's like, I've been shot. I'm like, you've been what? I've been shot. You. In my head, I'm thinking, you are gone. You are dead. There's no way. People don't survive shootings. I'm pregnant. I'm unemployed. I've got another child. I'm going to have 2 children and not have a father. Oh, Jesus. I couldn't believe it. You know, when he said, I was shot, I was like, oh. Everything stopped. Like, everything stopped. And I'm like, this one is gone. He's dead. There's no way he's going to make it out of this. He's gone. Oh, lucky enough, my friends were there, and some of his friends were there. So I got in my car. My friend's boyfriend got in his car, because they didn't even take the car. And that's the thing that was the most painful. I'm like, why? Like, why did he have to shoot him? You know? And I know this is something that a lot of people relate to, because it happens to their loved ones, where a senseless crime happens, and you're like, why did you have to do that? But I also sometimes understand, because coming from where we come from and everything that is going on in Africa, everyone is hungry, you know? And I think I had to forgive those guys. I had to forgive them, because they brought us to Australia. But no, I had to forgive them before we came to Australia. I had to forgive them, because I got to understand that I don't think people intentionally hurt others. I always think that you hurt people because you've been hurt yourself. And there's someone that has hurt you and done something wrong to you, or you feel that there's someone that has hurt you and done something wrong to you. And that's how you then hurt other people. So I forgave them for that. But yeah, so the thing that, oh my God, it's like a series of events. But what happened was, so we drove from where we were, and we went to Siyabuswa clinic. Remember, I'm from the village. Okay, I am from the village. And if you've been to a village in South Africa, you will understand what I'm talking about. There is no service delivery. Nothing. Forget it. We don't have any private hospitals. We don't have any private. We have nothing. So anyway, because we needed like medical attention, we had to take him to the nearest clinic that we had in there, because we don't even have like a hospital. We only have a clinic in Siyabuswa. So we took him there. When we got there, I think there were 2 nurses. I don't remember. I remember just seeing 2 ladies the whole time that we were there. We were there with my friends, and we go in, and they put him on a stretcher. They call them stretchers, I think those beds. And they just were like, oh, what happened? He's shot. Okay. They put swabs on a bullet wound. Swabs. You see the swabs that you use? So my husband is a vet, right? He's a doctor. He understands medicine. So he's like, can you please give me morphine? I'm in pain. Can you please give me morphine? And like, we don't have. Woo! And he was shot. Who is bleeding? I'm like, and then now they want to know what happened. It's like, how is this going to? I was so angry. Like, I literally wanted to punch everything and everyone, because I'm like, what is going on? I'm about to lose this guy. He's about to bleed to death. What am I going to do? And they just put swabs on him, and they started preparing a drip. So he was asking, what is in the drip? And they were like, no, it's just water. This bullet. South Africa. Bullet. But lucky enough, we had, looking back, I'm like, thank you, Lord. We had a medical aid. So we managed to, my friends were there, so they managed to call an ambulance that came. It was a private ambulance, so it came, and then I got in the ambulance with him to go to our nearest private hospital, which is in Pretoria, 1.5 hours away from Siyabuswa. That is where our nearest hospital is. Because I knew that if we took him to Philadelphia, people that go into Philadelphia don't come out alive. Because when they get there, they also don't find morphine. Because it is a government hospital. Yo, I was like, yo, it didn't work. Jesus, why me? So anyway, we got into the ambulance. You know, God is great. God and our ancestors are so great. The person that was driving the ambulance was a guy that I went to school with, Mafika. And the lady that was there assisting was a girl that my husband, they at her home, they had like animals, cows or something like that. Her parents had some animals, and because my husband is a vet, he had been servicing them, so they knew each other, and I also knew the girl. So it was so good being in that space where I knew the people that were in there, and my husband also knew them. So it was very calm, and they were very calming. I remember I was sitting in front with my fika, and I cried the whole way. I cried the whole way from Siyabuswa to, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So lucky enough, they managed to get us some morphine. So they gave him morphine, and then we drove all the way to Pretoria. And then lucky enough, he then was able to get the medical attention he needed at a private hospital. But I was so scared that if he bleeds to death, what am I going to do? And my biggest worry, apart from the baby that I was carrying, but the baby that is at home with my mom, and how I'm going to have to explain to Marang that your father is gone. What am I going to say? You know, we went to the hospital. When we got there, when he was admitted, I had to be admitted as well because, as I explained, I was pregnant. So I stopped feeling the baby moving, and I thought I was going to lose the child because I was so stressed. I was really so stressed. And my belly just got so stiff. And the doctor, can you please check the baby? Because I am pregnant. Can you please check the baby to make sure that the baby is fine? So lucky enough, the baby was okay. That was the first night, and then he was scheduled for surgery. Lucky enough, the bullet was not in his body, so it went from the back and then it exited in the front, on his belly. So yeah, they had to like reconstruct things that the bullet damaged. So we spent weeks and weeks and weeks at the hospital, and even afterwards we had to go like back and forth. And I really felt so grateful that we had a medical aid, because when the medical bill came and it was like hundreds and hundreds of thousands, I was like, imagine if we didn't have these, Jesus. Imagine. Imagine if we didn't have this. Oh. There's a family friend that lives in Pretoria. So they live like, I think, about 15 minutes away from the hospital, because as I explained, we were from Siyabuswa, so it's like 1.5 hours away from Pretoria. So because I wanted to be there with my husband every day, I couldn't travel back and forth, go home and all of that. It was not gonna work. So this family friend, when they came to see us at the hospital, like, no, your wife can come and stay at my house. We've got like a cottage, and then she can come and stay there while she comes to visit you. So we're like, okay, thank you, Lord. So I stayed at their house. You know how God and ancestors work in very mysterious ways, ne? It so happens that the week that my husband was shot, this family friend's wife was coming back from Australia. She was doing her postdoc. English. She was doing her postdoc, and I think she was coming to pick up the kids to take them to Australia. So it was in the conversation that we had where we were talking in jail, and then she was like, promise, you are sitting here. You are a social worker. Your husband is a vet. You are sitting here. Girl, there's Australia. They want people. So this is even why I'm doing this. It's because someone shared this information with me and said to me, I was in a situation. You don't understand. I was stuck. I was unemployed. Okay. I was busy with my master's. I was applying for jobs as a social worker, because the reason why I even did my master's in the first place, I knew, because knowing South Africa, I knew as a social worker, it was going to be so hard for me to get a job. I knew I was very intelligent. So I knew I would qualify for my master's. No, honestly, I knew I was intelligent and I would qualify for my master's. So I applied for it. I didn't even know where I was going to get the fees from, but I just applied for it just as a backup should I not get a job. So, and it so happened that I did not get a job. So thank you that I enrolled in my master's and did it, because for the whole duration of my master's, I was applying for jobs and I got nothing. Not even one interview. Not even one interview. I've never been to an interview as a social worker in South Africa. And if you look at all the CVs, do you know this? And worst part in South Africa, you have to print them out. You have to print them out. It's money to print them out. You need to print these things out, and then someone is gonna go sheshela themselves with your CV. I've never been for like a social work interview, nothing, not a dololo, nothing, no, nothing. And then I completed my master's and still, I only went for one interview, but then they couldn't take me because I had not graduated from my master's. It was to be a research assistant or something like that. And they explained to me that because you have not yet completed, they didn't take me. So 2016, that's when we made the decision to leave in a hospital. After my husband got shot, that's when we decided, you know what, we can't live like this. I felt robbed of the freedom that was promised. I was like, Mandela, the freedom, what is this? I thought we had an agreement. I was so livid. I was so angry because I just didn't understand. I didn't understand why. Why should we be living like this and no one is doing anything about it? I just don't understand. I can't understand it, and I don't understand it. This is nonsense. This is really nonsense. I'm born in 1993, right? I'm born in 1993. This should be a time where South Africa is going through a transition from apartheid to being a better South Africa. Now we are free. Freedom is coming tomorrow. So tomorrow is today. That's what has been sold to us. And I always hold this belief that we are not free. There is no democracy in Africa. Don't be lied to. There's no democracy in South Africa. There's no democracy in South Africa. Do not be lied to. And I felt like I can't. And even in my letter, as I explained, even if it's not like we have all these racial things and all these racial laws that chain us down, but we are chained by our economy. We are chained by the mismanagement of money. If I go into this, man, it is so difficult. It is so hard. And what pains me more than anything is that I still have family back home. And right now, all I just do is pray. Pray. God, my ancestors, please keep them safe for me. Because I can't do anything. I'm just a living human being here walking like everybody. I can't do anything. So the only thing I can just do is to hold on to the faith that they'll be safe. Looking at my reasoning as to why we left South Africa, I could not imagine that life forever for myself and for my children, where I have to be so dependent on somebody's mercy. And I understand. That's why I said I forgave the people, because I understood that they were probably hungry African children. I understand that. They were hungry. It is okay. Why did you shoot him? Why are you shooting? Why are you shooting? And this is why this segment, even though it's so emotional for me and everything, that's why it is so important, because I want to reinforce your reasoning must not be my reasoning. It must not be because Promise was scared. Now I also need to go because I might also face what Promise faced that. What English? What Promise? You must know your reason, okay? You must know your reasons as to why you are going. And your reasons might be very different to my reasons, and it's okay. But as I've explained to you, the process is very long. The process is daunting. It will need for you to know why you are starting to begin with. Why do you want to go? Is it just crime because it's happening around you? Is it because you're unemployed? Is it because maybe you're seeing so many children going missing, human trafficking, and no one is doing anything about it? Is it because maybe you're just tired of just not, there's no progress. There's no progress. You know, guys, when I was back home, I was so depressed. And then I look back to think about what was really depressing in me. It was because I felt useless. And I felt useless because I had this social work degree. I had this master's degree. And as I have explained to you, I'm a helper by heart. So even when I was unemployed, I was busy with other projects in my community, and I was trying to still uplift my community. And I even started like a foundation, of which did not work out because I was too depressed to work on my foundation, you know. So many things that I wanted to do because I knew what my potential was and what I could do as a social worker and just as a human being serving my purpose. I felt like South Africa was not allowing me to do that. And sometimes when I also look at me coming here to Australia, I feel like maybe I had to come here. Maybe I had to be inconvenienced back home in South Africa for me to be great here. Maybe then I was sent to come here and see what's going on here and share it with the rest of the world to say, if where you are is not working out for you, you are not stuck, you are not a tree, go, leave, 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 leave. If where you are right now is not serving you, go, go. It is really up to you. It is really up to you. Today I was thinking about this and I'm like, it is so important to know when to quit. It is very important, whether it is a relationship, whether it is a job, whether it is friendships, whether it is the things that are holding you back, whether it is to quit the emotions and the trauma and everything that is holding you back. You must know when to quit. You must know. Because sometimes we hold on to things because we are afraid. Because I know one of the biggest things that people might worry about is, oh my God, when I leave home, what about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? But you must know when to quit. You must know when to quit. And when you know when to quit, that's when you then can fully trust the process. And that's what you need. If you are done and you're like, I don't even have plans here. When this process, as I explained, it took 2 years. Let me see, from 2016, because we came here January, because we started the process. We started the discussions 2016 September, and then we came here 2019 January. So it's like 2 years. Within that 2 years, we needed to be solid and show that we were done. We were done. Like, we had no plans for South Africa anymore. You need to be ready. You need to be ready, because whatever your reason is to leaving is the thing that's going to drive you throughout this process. As I've explained, it is very long. It is daunting. You are going to give up. There are days where you're going to be like, fudge this, me, I'm not doing it. Me, I'm staying here with my depression and everything. And you're going to want to stay here. You're going to want to stay wherever you are. But if you know that you are done, your spirit tells you that it's time to quit now. It's time to go. It's time to let go of everything. It's time for you to be ready to be inconvenienced, because this is not the life that you want. So if the sacrifice, you are ready for the sacrifice, if you're ready to cut it, then I really advise you to do whatever your heart allows, man. Because that's what's going to drive you through this whole process. So yeah, I was tired of being ungoverned. I was being ungoverned, where you say you are free because now we are black and we are voting, but what is the freedom that you are talking about? RDP houses that keep falling on people, health systems that are not working, where they don't even have morphine or Panado. And you say freedom is here, freedom is coming tomorrow. There's no freedom in Africa. There is no, forget it. The aniyazi freedom. You don't know freedom. You are not free. You are not yet free. Not yet Uhuru. You are not yet free. There is no freedom in Africa. Look at your politicians. Look at what's going on. You know what makes me so livid about ANC? It is that these old people that are so, it is so horrible having disrespectful elders and ill-mannered elders, where you as a child, you would want to respect them because they say we must respect our elders, but you're like, look at your ways. Look at what you are doing, and you're expecting me as a child to respect you, but you are stealing from us. Really? And me, I must praise you. I was so angry yesterday, before I slept. I needed to pray. I was like, I need to shift them back for my spirit to be cleansed because of this. I can't. I saw that there was a statue of O.R. Tambo erected or something like that for 13 million. I'm like, This man is dead already. Do you know that? I'm not saying that I'm minimizing how great he was. We already have an airport for him. It's fine. Why do we need a statue? Why do we need a 30? And if we go into the paperwork of did we really need to spend 30 million on it? We all know what the story is going to be. We all know what happened during COVID and the billion that was injected into the country. We all know what these old people are ill-mannered. They are so ill-mannered. They are so ill-mannered, and it is very difficult to respect elders that don't even respect themselves. You are stealing from us. At the end of the day, their families are the ones that are going to benefit. What about me? So Mina, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy because I'm just a mass. But when it's time to vote for freedom, vote for free education, vote for nonsense. And the other thing is, again, you know, I had this thing where I got to a point where I was like, I'm never gonna ever vote Mina in my life. Ever, for as long as I'm living in South Africa, because my vote is useless. You got your voice. You got your voice. How? How do I get your voice? How? How do I have a voice? When I say I am tired, stop what you're doing. Oh, and then you still continue to steal the man. How many lives should be destroyed because of the leaders that we have in South Africa? How many? So many of our African children are going hungry, not because there's no. Do you know how blessed we are to come from Africa? Do you know how rich we are as Africans? Do you know the gold that we are? Do you know that? But because we are giving that with my vote, I am giving my gold and putting it in someone that I say I trust. And that someone is like, oh, thank you for your gold. Now, Mam Kize, Mam Sbanban, here's the gold that I took from Promise. You feed our children. And me, I must just smile and be like, oh, Congoloso, whatever, president, praise you. And then to the rally, me, I'm not mental. Oh, no. And then this side, you've got EFF. EFF that is just pushing the agenda of hate and anger. They are really just only capitalizing on your anger as black children to say, hate these ones, dula, dula. Dula mapunu, dula this, dula that. Can we just move on? Because now you are wasting our time. Because now you have these people who are like, dula, dula. Dula. When you are there, dula. You know what they're doing? Dula inside a Mercedes Benz, inside mansions. When you are dula. Black child. Ask Zimbabweans. They will tell you what is going to happen to South Africa. Ask them. And then we've got DA this side, undercover racists. So continue voting. It's fine. It's your right, allegedly. Because apparently you are free and you've got rights, and good luck with your rights. Mina, miss me with that nonsense. Not in this lifetime. I have choices that I can make. The world will be nonsense. The world will be nonsense. It is supposed to be nonsense. It is going to be nonsense anyway, and it's okay. It's fine. Even if it's not fine, it is fine. I can't do anything, me, to change the systems and the world and where we live. But I can choose to change my life. I can choose to change that. And this is how we are here. Because I decided, okay, me, I can't do anything in South Africa. So let me get Banoi aeroplane, go. Let me leave. So then I can then have that control over my life. So that I can experience somebody else's freedom. And we can never really ever say that we are free. That's just an ideology that is not there. But the biggest and most liberating freedom that you can get is the one from within. If you're not free and emancipated in your brain, forget it. Free yourselves. Free yourselves. When it is o'clock for you to just cut the relationship, cut it, divorce, break it, whatever. Leave any situation that is dragging you down. Leave any situation that is making you unhappy and you're unable to be your best self. You can't be your best self in an environment that does not allow you to be your best self. I am my best self right now because this environment where I am is allowing me to be my best self. That's why I'm here talking to you. If you want to know what I was doing back in South Africa, I will write a book about it. You will read it. Honestly, I was so depressed. And this is the thing again, when you're in a country that is depressing you, and depression is so expensive. Depression is expensive because number one, if you've got depression, you need a hospital or a doctor. You need to see a doctor, number one. Number two, you need to get medication. Number three, you need to get ongoing treatment. Depression, oh, you can't be depressed in a country where if you don't afford for you to be in a private hospital, you're going to go to Viscopis. Viscopis. When you're not depressed, you know what they're going to do to you? Go Viscopis, Mar. Free yourselves. No one is coming to save you. There is literally no one. Vote for them, you will see. They show you each and every year what they do with your money. And then we've got these children from Africa who are hungry, who will then steal from you. You don't want to answer to your children and say, oh, Nana, I was afraid. I was afraid of what's going to happen. Oh, Nana, I could not let go. You can't. Do it for something. And I don't know if I thanked everyone for subscribing and the comments. Thank you so much. They meant so much to me. I tried to not check every day, but I did because I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you again next week. So what I'm going to be talking about next week, just so you know, because as I explained to you, I already have a schedule of what I'm going to do. So from next week, I'm going to be talking about whether you should use a relocation agent or not, and the reason why we did not use a relocation agent. So I'm hoping that you've got questions about that. So just connect with me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. As I mentioned to you, the Facebook page that goes with this YouTube channel. So I'm gonna leave everything below so that you guys can go in and try to reach out to me. So whatever question that you've got about using an agent or not using an agent, and whatever that you experienced when you use an agent, I would love to hear what your experiences were so that I can share that information then with other people so that they won't then do the same mistakes that you did. Because I didn't use an agent. I could not afford one. I was from Africa. I was poor. Could not afford an agent. I'm still trying to make up for things. So please I don't have the money. So that's why I had to do a process myself. That's why it took me 2 years. For someone that maybe had money to have an agent, could have taken them 3 weeks. I don't know. You are not stuck. At least you're not stuck alone. There's someone that is helping you, coming here to help you. So receive that help. And I mean, when I'm saying that I'm helping you guys, I'm not saying I'm going to do the process for you. Me, this is my part of the job. This is what I'm doing. You do yours. When I say to you, go here, go do this, go call this person, do it. Or else leave me. Me, I'm already in Australia. Oh, I'm already here. So you need to do the things that you need to do to get here if this is where you're going. Even if it's not Australia, it is New Zealand, Canada, wherever. Sometimes it's not, the destination is not Australia, and it is okay. Wherever where you want to go, where your ancestors are like, yeah, this is where you're going, my girl. We're preparing you for here, my boy. This is where you're going. You need to do that yourself. Hamba. Tamaya. There is life out there. Trust me, I know. I have seen it with my eyes. I told you, we jumped from South Africa to Dubai, to Singapore, and I'm like, oh, abantu bayaphila mos. So this is how you live. And I would not have known that if I was still stuck in Khobokwani, Matapang College. So go like that. Where you come from should not be your destination and should not be the end of it. Where you come from should just be something that has happened because you had no control over. But when you get to a certain stage in your life where you can choose where you want to go and you don't go, you can't blame nobody. It is on you. So one day when you are depressed, you must ask yourself, what am I doing to myself? Why am I like this? And change it. Change Hamzalwan. Change Hamzalwan. Change. I hope this video helped you. I really do. And if it made you feel some type of way, I'm sorry. Go get counseling. Sorry. So yeah. Goodbye, guys. I'll see you same time, same place next week.